wagon, he tripped on something and almost fell on his face. He hated his own clumsiness. He hated the heavy clodhopper farmer's boots that weighed him down and made his feet feel like heavy hooves. How was he going to be able to dance? He longed for the lightness of his moccasins, with a long fringe trailing out behind like a kite's tail. He could dance in those, but they were long. No, Jimmy told himself. Don't think about the past. It was too painful. Recalling his lost moccasins would just lead to remembering other losses, unbearable losses. Just think about here and now. But here and now was troubling too. He couldn't dance, not really. Not these dances. Rhoda and Naomi ran off to be with other little girls. Cousin Jeff slouched off to look for his friends. Aunt Orlena and Uncle Isaac moved off to join the other adults who were busy talking about rainfall and crops. Jimmy kept the plow horses company. He didn't really fit in with any group. He wasn't quite a member of the family, wasn't quite white in the eyes of many, wasn't quite right either, was too big for grade school and too dumb for high school. So he talked to the plow horses. "Oh, great God, dogs, thank you for pulling the wagon," Jimmy said softly in the Comanche tongue. "I'm sorry you have to stand here. I know it must be boring, but at least there are two of you. You can keep each other company. There's just one of me." Then Jimmy realized that several of the kids had noticed him talking to the horses. They were looking at him funny. Now they really thought he was crazy. He nervously started to put his hands in his pockets, but discovered that they were already there. As the air darkened and cooled, Jimmy noticed individuals melting together into dark clumps. He saw girl clumps and boy clumps, big kid clumps and little kid clumps, farmer clumps and farmers' wives clumps. Then a clump of musicians started playing a tune, and the other clumps started breaking apart and reforming. Drawn by the music, Jimmy moved closer to the musicians. Two fiddlers were seated in leaned-back wooden chairs with cowboy hats perched on the back of their heads. They looked to be in their 20s. A young woman about the same age played an upright piano. Jimmy wondered how she'd gotten it from her living room to the playground. An old man, probably in his 70s, was playing a harmonica. Jimmy rocked back and forth to the music, trying to work up the courage to ask somebody to dance. By the light of a full moon, assisted by several lanterns hung from trees, he studied the couples on the dirt dance floor. There were teenage couples and middle-aged couples and old-age couples. And there were some mixed-age couples, fathers dancing with daughters, grandmas dancing with grandsons. He tried to comprehend the dance steps, but he just got more and more confused. The swaying couples weren't dancing a polka. He could tell that much. But he didn't know what they were dancing. They seemed to move their feet very fast, the same way they had seemed to talk back before he learned to understand them. The dancers were beginning to kick up a good bit of dust, which the orange moon turned into gold dust. It gilded the swaying bodies and made them look like dancing statues. Jimmy thought the dancers looked so pretty that he longed to join them. But longing was as far as he got. Frightened by the strange dance steps, he soon returned to the horses. Still, Jimmy's gaze kept reverting again and again to a brown-haired girl in a yellow calico dress which had some sort of design on it. He couldn't quite make out the pattern in the darkness. He'd seen her at school, had seen her at services at the Hardshell Baptist Church, had nodded to her and even said hello to her a couple of times. Like most of the girls, she was a farmer's daughter, but he thought she was prettier than the others. He remembered that her name was Rachel. "Should I ask her to dance?" he asked the horses in the human tongue. "I mean, if they ever play a polka?" There wasn't a word for polka in the human tongue, so he said it in English. "What do you think?" One of the horses flicked its tail and shifted its weight from one hind leg.